7 years and 4 months ago, I posted just my 5th ever video review of an audio product. It was a review of the Meza Audio 99 Classic headphones. They are a closed style headphone and a really unique looking and sounding headphone that's worth consideration. So let's jump in and take a look. Just a week or so ago, I watched a video on the Cheap Audio Man channel where Randy was talking about the fact that he's no longer going to be doing audio reviews in the future. And that got me thinking, do I like doing audio reviews? Or would I rather do opinion pieces as well? I completely get where Randy's coming from. Producing product reviews is a lot of work. There's products coming and going constantly. There's boxes piling up in your house. And then there's pressure to release certain videos at certain time to capture the launch window of a brand new product. The thing is, I actually love reviewing audio products. I love hearing the nuances between two similar devices. I love trying to understand what makes product X sound different from product Y. I love hearing how my favorite tunes are delivered differently from one setup to the next, and the different listening experiences that provides. And so, I won't stop reviewing gear anytime soon. But I will approach it a little bit differently. Starting over, if you will. I want to start thinking about every product I look at in a broader context. I suppose I've been doing a little bit of that already for a while now, so this is more of an evolution rather than a re-beginning. And the trigger of all of this pondering on my part, 7 years and 4 months since the release of the original 99 Classics review, is the arrival of the 99 Classics version 2. These are a more grown-up and mature version of the original 99 Classics, probably in much the same way that this channel is now a more mature and grown-up version of the channel that started over 7 years ago. But don't think that mature and grown-up means boring and conservative. I've tried to make this channel more fun and interesting as I've learned better how to express myself through videos. And I think Meza have done much the same thing with the V2 Classics. The tuning has changed, the cups have changed, the pads have changed, the accessories have changed, the enjoyment hasn't changed. Visually, you can see that these are an evolution of that same headphone. These have essentially the same headband design, it might be an identical headband design, and the same gorgeous wooden cups still. Now though, the volume of the ear cups is a little bit larger, and all of the internal seals are apparently better for better acoustic performance. They've added bass ports right next to the 3.5mm sockets on each of the headphone cups. And the internal baffle underneath the pads, that's changed too. As I said earlier, those pads are also different now. Instead of the old stretchy skirt design of the original 99 Classics, these now use a clip system. You clip it off, you clip it back on. That makes removal and reattachment of the pads much easier, but it does mean that they're going to require custom pads for those that like to pad swap. And so if you are a fan of rolling pads on headphones like these, using brands like Tacony Audio for instance, you'll have to wait a little while for brand new pads to be developed here. However, in the meantime, thanks to Tacony Audio sponsoring this video, you can enjoy 10% off any of their fantastic modular cable system, their ear tips for earphones, their various carry cases and similar accessories for headphones, and even their comfort accessories too. Just visit taconyaudio.com and use the code PassionForSound at the checkout to get 10% off anything and everything you buy on that site. And speaking of accessories and cables, the new cable that comes with the V2 Classics is better than the old cable as well. But Meza Audio have also enlarged the holes in the cups where the cables go in, so that if you do want to use aftermarket cables like the fantastic Ensemble range from Tacony, you can now do that with the 99 Classics. You're not limited by the size of that socket. And finally, much like some of Meza's other headphones and earphones, the 99 Classics V2 now comes with a USB-C to 3.5mm dongle adapter in the box. And so inside the carry case, and then inside the little zippy pouch, you'll find this little guy that you can plug into any USB-C capable audio source, and that's going to let you get great quality sound from the 99 Classics V2. However, as is often the case, using an even better source with the 99 Classics V2 will give you even better sound. Back when I reviewed the original 99 Classics, there weren't a lot of great close-back headphones around, not at that price anyway. There was definitely nothing as good as the FiiO FT1s. At $150 US, the FT1s are about half the price of what you'll pay for the 99 Classics. At least I think so. I'm actually recording this video before the official launch announcement of the 99 Classics. That's because I've got some travel coming up and I need to get this video recorded as soon as I can. I'll put a note on screen if I know the pricing before I finish editing this, and otherwise I'll put the pricing and a link in the description down below so you know what these costing. But either way, I believe they're going to be about twice the price of the amazing FiiO FT1s. So that's the first hurdle they have to overcome. And straight away, the FT1s had the V2 Classics on the ropes with their bass performance. The bass quality and quantity from the FT1s is fantastic, and the V2 Classics couldn't keep up with the sense of bass weight, body and feel that the FT1s deliver. But the V2 99 Classics definitely reach just as deep. As I alluded to earlier, the V2 Classics are a more neutrally tuned headphone now. That's as opposed to the more V-shaped tuning of the original 99 Classics. These are now more of a reference tuning, but it might not be as enjoyable to you depending on your tastes. The FT1s from FiiO deliver such an enjoyable richness and focus in the mid-range. The V2 Classics, on the other hand, are a bit leaner and drier sounding. The V2 Classics place more of their emphasis into the upper mid-range. That creates more texture and a sense of clarity in the vocals, and it can also be an area where the tonality or the timbre of headphones, the sense of how natural they sound, can come undone. But the Classics, the new Classics, balance this really, really well. They control that sense of emphasis to become more textured and to give you more insight without ever straying into becoming unnatural or sounding overly lean and overly dry. That same tuning approach grants the V2 Classics an excellent sense of articulation and clarity in the sound, but it was additionally very hard for me to separate the FT1s from the 99 Classics V2 based purely on sound quality. Both did sound clearly different, but at first I wasn't sure that the Classics were clearly better than the much cheaper FT1s. To me, the 99s win on styling and build quality. The FT1s win on a sense of fun and a musical and engaging tuning. But then the 99s win on a sense of neutrality or naturality. And then the FT1s win just on their sense of comfort. And that's basically due to the materials used for the pads. I think the headband comfort is identical between these two. The Mezas might be slightly better, but I do love the feel of the fabric face on the pads of the FT1s a bit more than the fake leather or whatever that material is on the Meza audio pads. Listening to some extra tracks though provided some additional clarity for me. On a track like Dead and Gone with its big, solid and a little bit bloomy bass, the 99 Classics kept everything better under control. Listening with the FT1s, I could hear that the bass was bleeding into the mid-range a bit, and it was damaging the sense of clarity of the FT1s. For pure enjoyment, there's no doubt that the FT1s will be better for some people, and there are plenty of times I would reach for them over the 99 Classics V2 still. But the Classics clearly demonstrated a technical edge over and above what the FT1s are capable of. If you listen to a wide range of music, there'll be many times that the Classics keep things under control as the FT1s start to fall apart just a little bit. And I can't stress enough here that just because the 99 Classics V2 are a more neutral and technically capable headphone, it doesn't make them unfun. Just because they don't have that V-shaped tuning, it doesn't mean they're boring. They're still energetic, dynamic and engaging with every type of music that I tried. And where they're also quite good is they're going to adapt very well to brighter or warmer source chains, whereas putting the FT1s on a warmer, richer source chain can sometimes take things too far. However, there's a big problem in all of this. Maybe you've already picked it. The 99 Classics cost significantly more than the FT1s, and so are they actually worth the extra money? Are the differences I've described where the Classics do have a slight edge, are they worth about twice as much? That's hard to gauge. They are definitely technically superior if you need a neutrally tuned close-back headphone. But if you're about to spend about $300 on a close-back headphone, you might also look at HiFiMan. After all, they're a highly respected headphone brand too. They've recently released the Audivina LE headphone, and it's priced about the same as the V2 Classics. Comparing those two headphones shows you why the V2 Classics are such a great option. The tonal balance of the Classics is excellent. Listening to a solo piano track is always a great test of timbre, I think. Because the piano stretches across the entire frequency range, any issues with an unnatural timbre from a headphone caused by slightly wonky or unbalanced tuning is going to stand out like a hippie in a room full of accountants. Straight away on Moonlight Sonata Blues, I could hear that the Audivina LE places just a bit too much emphasis in the upper registers. In other words, the upper mid-range and the treble. The V2 Classics sounded like I was sitting at the piano and playing it. Although I don't think I've got quite the same feel as Jon Batiste. The lower registers from the V2 Classics are solid, they're powerful, and they're clean. And the top end is suitably bright and clear, so that details like the movement of the piano pedals are easy to hear in this track. You also get a good sense of the percussive moments when each key is being played and the hammers inside the piano are hitting the strings. Whereas on the Audivina LE, everything gets a little bit thinner sounding, and I don't feel like you gain anything as a result. There were no extra details or insights available, and the timbre of the piano just got a bit wonky. On tracks with more instruments involved, there are some reasons that you might prefer the Audivina LE. So it's not like it's a bad headphone necessarily, but there's a lot more to discuss about it, and I'll cover it all off in my full review of those. So be sure to subscribe if you want to check out that one. But the short version here for now, while we're focusing on the 99 Classics V2, is that I clearly prefer those. To my ears, they're better tonally balanced than the Audivina LE, and just as technically capable. And speaking of upcoming reviews, there's another close-back headphone I'm going to be reviewing soon that's a bit more expensive again than the 99 Classics V2. It might be even better still if you want a greater sense of space and slightly more refined or controlled treble. But the tuning of these other headphones is a little bit different. It doesn't have quite the same sense of bass weight, and it places a bit more emphasis as a result into the vocal and mid-range area. I'll keep all the details of those up my sleeve for now because they're not really a direct competitor to the 99 Classics, in the sense that they cost significantly more. But if what I've just said has piqued your interest, you'll definitely want to hit that subscribe button. And the point in me sharing that, other than to try to get you to hit the subscribe button, is also to let you know that the 99 Classics aren't the last word in refinement and overall sound quality, because they are still a very affordable headphone in the scheme of the headphone world. But for what they're doing it very, very well. Yes, you can spend more money and get more refinement, more sense of space, more clarity and more detail retrieval, but you're going to be spending a lot more money. And so I'm going to bring this to a close for now by saying that I think Meza Audio have produced another fantastic headphone with the 99 Classics V2. You can see and hear in these all of the different lessons that Meza Audio have learnt over the last 10 years. They've improved a classic headphone, no pun intended, and granted it a fresh life as one of the best options for audiophiles seeking a fairly affordable closed-back headphone that's neutrally tuned but still very enjoyable. It's a great way to either begin your audiophile journey or to nestle more permanently and very happily into an audio sweet spot for value. If that sounds good to you, I'll put some links in the description down below. And if you need a great source to plug a headphone like this into, I've pinned a video here at the end for you that covers off two excellent options that you might want to consider. Both are fantastic, you can't go wrong with either, but the video I've pinned here at the end will help to make sure that you choose the right one for you. So watch that one next, but for now, a huge thanks to YouTube channel members, also to channel Patreon members, and of course to those of you who leave super thanks on videos like this one. And until next time, happy listening, be kind to each other, and I'll see you here again soon on Passion for Sound.